this whole situation is mind blowing. Going all the way back to the trade, right at the I guess it was Super Bowl week, so it was right around February, early February, and now to Nico wins the lottery, and there's so much going on. And one of the guys who you mentored, Tim McMahon, has been my favorite guy to follow through all of this stuff. But what do you make of what's happening to this Mavericks organization? If there was a word you could assign to the Mavericks right now, what would it be?
Oh, I probably just chaos or luck. I think I would have fired Nico the minute they had that great luck, or if you think it's the fix is in. I mean, I'm not, I don't necessarily believe that, but I think that I understand that people have that thought when something that has a 1.8% chance on the heels of, what some would deem the worst trade in NBA history. It does seem like the NBA has a way of some big time makeup calls. So yeah, I think that, I think the Mavs are extremely fortunate. I think they put some things in place now that would prevent Nico from doing something, just going rogue, so to speak. But I would have just used this opportunity to immediately part ways with him.
I totally
how
agree.
These things work. Yeah, I think if they.
Yeah.
Well, I think that they would. I think probably they're going to be kind about this, which they don't really have to be after what he did. But I think there are some safeguards in place now. And I think that Nico's going to have less and less like authority, and he'll slowly but surely be phased out. I don't know if that's a 1-year process, 6-month process. I don't know for sure, but again, when you become kind of the face of embarrassment in the NBA, and I think this clueless DeMont, he feels embarrassed over what happened, and then they keep making a lot of bad PR decisions. So again, it's interesting that I keep seeing more and more like quotes coming out, anonymous quotes about how they're going to hold on to this pick. But it's almost like Mark Stein and McMahon or whoever are doing this to reiterate, and it's almost like somebody's giving them quotes purposely to not make it possible for Nico to mess this up. And there's something weird going on, because like you'll get these reports that go, okay, they're going to stay there and take their pick. And you just go, okay, well, that's cool. I mean, I think that's what most of the fan base wants, right? And then like 2 days later, the same guy will have another report saying the same thing, which tells me that Cuban or somebody is like really feeling the need to reiterate and say this stuff over and over. When you see weird stuff like that, that's what's going on. There's somebody in the organization that's like, let's make sure Nico doesn't do this, because everybody knows there is a scenario where, you trade this pick and match it up with Gafford and whoever else, and you bring in Giannis. And the reason Giannis is an interesting talking point with this fan base is because many, many years ago, they had a chance to take him and they did not. And it's one of the many regrets of this organization that they passed on Giannis.
I think that's a great point you make about Nico and him being phased out, because I believe that the ownership group is like, hey, we don't want to pay him the supermax, right? Talking about Luka, you've got to trade him. But by no means did they think he will come back with such a pitiful deal. And I think that leads to your point, like, let's just take the bat out of this guy's hands going forward, that he can't do anything big like this, and just usher him out. Like, I kind of feel like that's what you're telling me.
Yeah, it's like you treat him. You treat him like the Rangers are trying to treat Jock Peterson. You see if you can move him completely out of the lineup, and then one day you just don't let him on the plane again. You just say, Jock, I know we owe you about $20 million or $16 million this year, but we just can't. We don't have a spot for you on the plane. Or how they used to do to me in baseball, just kind of slowly but surely move me so far down in the lineup. They were trying to get me to quit the team. You just keep kind of moving me down the order a little bit.
Trying to run you off.
That's what. Although I had pretty good hands at second, they needed me out there, slick fielding little second baseman. But from a hang in there and make great contact was certainly not a strength.
I can see the Steve Sachs poster on your wall right now.